Edison, can I be honest with you? It stinks.
More than 46 million people have watched the Larry David ad for FTX on YouTube, in which the cryptocurrency is likened to some of the world's greatest inventions.
Like I was saying, it's FTX. It's a safe and easy way to get into crypto.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Up to the point of near bankruptcy, FTX's morally virtuous founder, Sam Bankman-Fried, said he wasn't in crypto for the money.
It's hard to spend more than millions a year in like an effective way on yourself, even if you really wanted to. And I think that's why we see super yachts, because a lot of people literally can't figure out anything else to do with their money.
Instead, Mr. Bankman-Fried is a proponent of so-called effective altruism.
In the end, I think you should do the actions that maximize the utility of the world.
His goals, which give new meaning to thinking big, include preventing nuclear war and stopping future pandemics.
When you're talking about having impact on the world, I think that, the point at which there's like nothing more to do with resources to help make the world better, I think you're talking about pretty big numbers. I think at least tens of billions, if not hundreds of billions, and maybe trillions.
There was a time when doing good meant improving school performance or preventing malaria. But at some point, the impulse to do good transformed into an unprecedented combination of moral tendentiousness and grandiosity of purpose.
First of all, they herd the whales into the harbor. Then they harpooned them.
Remember Save the Whales? It wasn't enough. That morphed into Save the Planet.
That's what I think one should do when all is said and done.
A question arises. Why has this need to assert mass virtue in such outsized ways become so relentless?
This guy. First, even if you wanted to come back, we wouldn't take you.
Yes, you would.
Yeah, we would.
You're right, we would. What's up?
I'm getting into crypto.
With FTX. You in?
We'll provide Inc. gives 360
People who did good used to be humble. Now they won't get out of our faces.
I believe I'm in, but still hate you.
Understood.
Take care. Best of the family.
An inevitably cynical answer to this question is politics. The political left embraced the technique known as controlling the narrative, which is a euphemism for propaganda. These narratives always seem to include enormous, if vague, claims to moral certitude and superiority.
The Inflation Reduction Act takes the most aggressive action to confront our climate crisis ever, in all of human history, ever.
Environmentalism wasn't getting the job done, so it became the climate crisis. Reducing racial inequality gave way to social justice. The purpose here is to marginalize one's opponents altogether, to place them beyond the pale of what the new gatekeepers of virtue define as acceptable discourse.
How can you be speechless? We demand to know what you're thinking. Do you stand with women?
Overlooked in the Bankman-Fried saga is the implicit admission that inside the idea of effective altruism, that capitalism, for-profit enterprise, is the indispensable means to good ends. The same cannot be said for America's least dynamic sector, government.
Do you think some lawmakers that got donations from FTX's founder should give that money back?
Well, I don't want to get into that. As a matter of fact, both sides, Democrats and Republicans, have received donations.
Today, the U.S. has the world's biggest economy and biggest government. Something new is needed to fill the space between those two poles, which is filling up with seemingly unsolvable problems like homelessness, mental illness, and chronic public schools underachievement.
In the end, what I care about is policy more than party. And, what I care about the most is what policy practices people are going to have for the world going forward, what example they're going to be setting on a global stage.
Mr. Bankman-Fried's goals were often delusional. In reality, change is possible, as illustrated in the midterm elections with the public leaning into charter schools and choice. These alternatives should not be seen as a threat, but as a natural evolution, away from aging public systems and toward more effective, focused alternatives. Call it effective altruism, but please, hold the moral vanity.
I'm never wrong about this stuff. Never.